So I'm down at Berners Hall Fishery in Essex, and it's for the 24-hour challenge. So I've got 24 hours from 10 o'clock this morning to try and catch a carp from Berners Hall. I've only fished it 3 times in 15 years, despite being on my doorstep. I've had a good look round and I've seen a few fish, so I've got a swim in mind. So at 10 o'clock, I'm going to be ready to go. So it's just been a match on here for 48 hours and there's been a few fish out. So I'm just literally waiting. The whistle for that match is going to go at 10 o'clock and I'm going to drop in behind some lads, which there ain't a lot of choice. It's a day ticket, it's busy and it's always busy. So we've got no swims shut off or anything like that. We've had a good walk round, seen a few fish and we're going to drop in behind the winners. Means I'm going to have some friends in a little while. Another week's time, I'll have a van full of flies. There we go. Well, gear's all loaded and I'm keen to get up there, so let's go. I'm glad that's electric. He's only saying that because he's got back wheels and he can't go down.
Yeah, I don't want to break my neck. Being even more.
Well, I was going to get 2 rods out really quick, but the sky's looking a little bit dark and we're due some rain. So rather than get all my kit wet for 24 hours, I'm going to get the bivvy up quickly, then get the rods out. Let's go there. So I'm quickly going to wrap up at 30 wraps and I'm going to pull back from there, see where the edge of the weed bed is and then get 2 rods out very quickly. But first off, I'm going to quick lead about and try not to spook fish out the area. 11, 12, bang. You might notice that my reel's a bit low on line, but I'm actually waiting for a new reel to turn up, so I'm not going to re-spool this till I get my new one. Well, I'm not going to re-spool this at all. I'm going to re-spool my new one. There's that bit of weed. I'm going to come through that. Like I said, just give it a quick pull and then it drops onto a nice, there it is, bit smooth area there. So I'm going to put that in the clip there, wrap it up. I'm in line with one of the cattle sheds at the back, so at night it's an easy target to pick up. And I ain't going to mess around, I'm going to put 3 rods on the spot, put a nice bit of bait in. There's a lot of carp in this lake and I think a lot of them will be together, so I can get a really attractive area going, pull them in. I might just be able to get a bite. It's absolutely lovely and clear that, and just backs onto a bit of weed, perfect spot. 25, 26, 27, 3/4. So if I go 28, I'll go. 28 wraps, rock hard bottom. So these have all got loops on, ready for solid bags. I'm going to whack them out while I'm getting my bait mix ready, because you never know, there could be a quick bite. And we could complete the challenge quicker than we anticipated. Lovely. That's 3 rods out in the zone. Hopefully one of them will bust off, but while we're waiting for that, we get some bait ready. So in the bucket here, I've got some giant hemp seal, which is mostly crushed into bits and pieces. I've done that the day before I got here in the garage. Bit of phoss oil over the top of it. And I always add that into the little water buckets. I like to make my mix up in here. So I'll add 3 or 4 of these. And this is a good start for a session. A few maggots, I don't go mad. And a bit of sweet corn. Be careful with this, sharp. Bit of that in there. Give it a stir up. Plenty of different smells, oils, flavours coming up. And that'll keep them on the spot for absolutely ages. Well, I've got to admit, right, I'm no match angler, but it always takes me good 5 or 6 bombs to get me eye in and then get a nice rhythm going. But 28.5 wraps we are. And I think once we get used to the range, we'll fill the area in, give them something to eat. Luckily, I've got the wind coming over my head, so that's giving me a hand. That actually went bang on. That never normally happens. That was the spot. So I'm probably putting out about 20 spoms to start the session. Good bit of bait out there. And then as the session goes on, I'm going to top out with 3 and 4 spoms about every couple of hours, just to keep a bit of noise and a bit of fresh bait coming down through the swim. And that's hopefully going to pull some carp into the area. A wind has sprung up blowing down the other end, which ain't to do me no favours. But on the weather report, it said it's going to turn and be quite a strong westerly, so it's going to come back our way at some point. And I didn't hit the clip. I'm just trying something a little bit different. I've got a bunch of worms there on some slow sinking sweet corn. I've got a German rig, 6 ounce leadies going on that, a little handful of worms, I ain't got many with me, a bit of crumb and a bit of hemp, and we'll see if that can bring us a bite. So I'm just sticking a bit of foam on to there, and that will stop the worms getting impaled on the hook as the bait drops down through the water. And I'm just going to add a bit of bait to that. When you're fishing big leads, if you're using these little boats, just push them up near the front end. And it looks a bit awful at the moment, but once that door opens, it's all going to drop down and straighten out. Little mix up on that. I'm still fishing to the same clips I was casting at, but obviously fishing that bunch of worms at 30 wraps or 28 wraps, it's going to rip off when it hits the water. So this is a good way of getting it in and ensuring your bait stays on the hair. So I'm just taking the boat out from up here because this is the spot I'm clipped up at, and I know I'm still landing in the same clear area, and it's where I baited up from as well. That's it. And it is lovely having a 6 ounce lead on, because you can really tighten up on that line, pull it nice and high in the water across the weed. It's really a massive advantage having heavy leads. Little push. Now it goes. I'm just using the small boat to get the hook bait out there. You can use bait boats, and in fact, I think me and the guy next to me are the only ones not bait boating. So if you can't beat them, join them. And yeah, I'm just putting this out now. Well, I've just reached the spot, and a fish has just rolled to the side of it. So they're definitely out there. Let's see if a change in hook bait makes a difference. Perfect, that. may have noticed that I dropped that with the rod back, and the reason for that, it's not like when you cast, when you're dropping from a bait boat, you don't hold the lead down because it just pulls away from the boat. You want everything to go down in a straight line with the food. So I hold the rod back, and as I drop it, I just follow the lead down, and that will remove all the tubing and everything from the drop and give you a nice clean drop and kick the rig out slightly. Well, I got that out just in time. It said it was going to pour with rain at 1 o'clock, and it's now 2:30, so it's later than expected. So luck has been on our side so far. All we need now is a carp. I'll go up the top so I can get a better angle on it. Get up as high as I can. Just sat behind that wave. It's the thing with nylon, you think you're pulling hard, but you're not over a long range. Well, that is locked up out there behind a big weed bed, and yeah, I had my alarm quite quiet. It was absolutely belting off. Hopefully it's still on, and I'm just going to keep the pressure on and see what happens. I'm going to stick that down on the rest nice and tight so it can work for a bit of line when it wants it, and see what happens. Got jammed in there, isn't it? Do you know, I've had it before where it's all like this. You go out in a boat and it's round a little corner like that, and you just go, and they come off. It's because you're on nylon. Nylon's terrible. But I'll give him 10 minutes slack, see what happens. Just try everything. thought one was going to go, because they were like rolling on it, weren't they?
Yeah.
Got a bit of movement then, a lot of tension. It did start to, oh, sure, tripod. I thought, bloody hell, it's kicking. I think it's actually a snag. Zero movement on it. Well, unfortunately, we lost that one. There's a lot of weed in here, so you're trying to get fish for a lot of weed beds. I've got quite a clear run in front of me, but that fish kited and got right behind some weed, and eventually we just lost it. So we've got one thing right, the pile of worms on the back of the bait, that worked. So we're going to get another rod out, don't dwell on it, see if we can get one in the net. What a beautiful day, day, day. Wow.
Hey, that was what I wanted.
And again.
And again.
Well, your dad didn't let them go down because of the weed. Try and keep as much pressure on them as possible. I've only just redone that rod, literally 2 minutes ago, and it absolutely ramped off. I might have to come left in a sec, lads, to get around this weed bed here. Oh, you prick. If you don't get bad luck, you don't get no luck at all. You come off just down there. Sod it. That's 2 bites, 2 losses. That's fishing weedy lakes here, barbless hooks. Let's get the rod back out. Well, check him out, funny little character. Finally caught one after losing 2 in weed. Got this one in, 22.5 pound, puts us on a bronze position. It's absolutely pouring down, so I'm not going to wait around. I'm going to get him back and get the rod back out and try and stay dry. So we got up nice and early, get the rods refreshed, and nothing happened through the night, but it literally just poured down till about 3 AM. Wind kept turning and coming into my bivvy. I ended up having a change of clothes. I was soaked, but we've got up this morning and it's glorious. Sun shines out so we can dry out. Just get a bit more baiting and hopefully try and tease another bite out of the lake before that 10 o'clock bell goes. So at the moment we're on 1 fish and 2 lost, which ain't the best. Well, that's all 3 rods, refreshed, new baits, bit of spod over the top, and I'm ready to go. I've not actually seen another fish come out, and I've not seen one in front of me this morning, but it is worth thinking. I've had 3 bites, and I've sort of worked the swim, I've put a bit of bait in, and a lot of the anglers they're not even up yet, you know what I mean? So when you're on a lake like this with plenty of fish, by the morning there's probably no bait left, so get up. I was up at 5:30, and I put 6 or 7 spoms back on the spot just to refresh it, and that will give you an extra bite, hopefully. So let's see what happens. Well, we're just sticking a rod out literally for the last 40 minutes. Last gasp, the wind's got up, there has been a couple of fish come out around the lake. So we've got the last 40 minutes to see what happens. Roger, we're coming in. It's all over the place, that poor little boat. Dung, 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 dung. I've literally just dropped that rod and trying to keep it out of the weed. You have got to give him some stick. Get out of the way, so it shows it was worth redoing that rod, even though we only had 40 minutes left. It was worth getting that rod back out there. Try and move it nice and steady, and I might even go up the top to get a bit of height on it. Come on. Come on, girl. Last 5 minutes. Yes! That's definitely silver in the last 5 minutes. Brilliant. Oh yeah, might even be a gold mat. On the newly tied rig. Get in. Could be a 30 pounder that. Thought it was a better fish because it didn't fight as hard until it got in the edge. Yeah. Look at this. I know what you can do, but can you do it this way? Got that out of the equation. 28, I reckon. Might be 30. Look at that. Bloody great. Lovely.
What are we saying?
28, 29, I reckon. Could be lighter because they're proper spawned out, aren't they?
26.
Is it? That's 30. That I'm getting weak.
34, bang on, I'd say. Yeah, no, do it one more time. No, 34. 34 and a half, I'd say.
Well, 15 minutes to go off the end of the 24-hour challenge, and we've gone and got a 34.5 pounder, which takes us to gold, which is brilliant. That's why it's worth doing your rods at the last minute when you've only got an hour left. Quick refresh of the bait, and it's caught us a good one. I'm grateful, thank you. That's good. That's what we wanted. Gave me a booty.